The history of drugs. The earliest reference to opium growth and use is in 3400 BC, when opium poppy was cultivated in Southwest Asia. It was referred to as the joy plant. As people learned about the power of opium, demand for it increased. Many countries began to grow and process opium to expand its availability and to decrease its cost. Its cultivation spread along the Silk Road from the Mediterranean through Asia and finally to China, where it was the catalyst for the opium wars of the mid-1800s. In order to fund their ever-increasing desire for Chinese-produced tea, Britain, through their control of the East India Company, began smuggling Indian opium to China. This resulted in a soaring addiction rate among the Chinese and led to the opium wars of the mid-1800s. The vast amount of Chinese immigrants coming to work on the railroads and the gold rush brought opium smoking to America. Opium flourishes in dry, warm climates such as Asia, Turkey, Pakistan, and Burma, but recently opium has been grown in Latin America, Colombia, and Mexico. The farmer will take his crop of opium to the nearest village where he can sell it to the dealer who offers him the best price. Opium dens were established as sites to buy and sell opium. Dens were commonly found in China, Southeast Asia, the United States, and parts of Europe. Chinese immigrants came to the United States in the mid-1800s to work for railroads and the gold rush, and brought the habit of opium smoking with them. Opium dens sprang up in San Francisco, Chinatown, and spread eastward to New York. Opium was known to ancient Greek and Roman physicians as a powerful pain reliever. Opium was also used to induce sleep. Opium has many derivatives, including morphine, codeine, oxycodone, and heroin. Morphine. In 1803, morphine, the principal ingredient of opium, was extracted from opium. Morphine is 10 times more powerful than processed opium, quality for quantity. Morphine was known as the miracle drug. It was widely spread by physicians in the mid-1800s. Morphine is one of the most effective drugs known for the relief of severe pain and remains the standard against when new pain relievers are measured. Oxycodone is synthesized from a third component of opium. Like morphine, it's used for pain relief. Oxycodone is taken orally, but when abused, the tablets are crushed or snorted, or dissolved in water and injected. Codeine, another component of opium, is medically prescribed for the relief of moderate pain and a cough suppressant. It has less pain-killing ability than morphine and is usually taken orally as a cough suppressant. It is found in a number of liquid prescriptions. Heroin, first synthesized from morphine in 1874. The Bayer Company of Germany introduced heroin for medical use in 1898. Physicians remained unaware of its addiction potential for years, but in 1903, heroin abuse had risen to alarming levels in the United States. All use of heroin was made illegal by federal law in 1924. Coca, which is mainly grown in Colombia, Peru, and Bolivia. Coca is a highly addictive drug that is processed in jungle laboratories where the coca is extracted from the leaves to produce cocaine. Until the early 1900s, cocaine was commonly used in Western medicine as an anesthetic because of its numbing ability. However, in 1970, cocaine reemerged as an expensive, high-status drug of abuse. Cocaine increased throughout the U.S. when the form of cocaine began to vary and it became more widely available and cheaper. Due to the chemical makeup of cocaine, it's highly addictive, and the body processes it as a stimulant. Because the body begins to rely on the stimulant, there are long-term health problems that individuals may suffer from. These problems include stomach ulcers, severe depression, inflammation or palpitations of the heart, bleeding in the lungs. Cocaine can also affect the function of the brain and its ability to regulate stress and mood. Cannabis is one of the most widely grown plants in the world and the only major drug of abuse grown within the United States borders. Cannabis grows wild throughout the world and is cultivated in many countries. However, the most powerful strains of cannabis are now grown in the United States. From the cannabis plant, marijuana is the most widely used and readily available drug composed of dried leaves and flowers of the cannabis plant, or better known as the hemp plant. Most of outdoor cannabis cultivation in the U.S. occurs on public lands where cultivators take advantage of remote areas to minimize the risk. More than 3 million marijuana plants, which equates to 3,000 metric tons, have been found and destroyed in national forests in the United States since 1997. These marijuana farms have been planted in protected areas, often destroying the surrounding areas by the use of herbicides and pesticides.